Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Denise with She Roams Free. Guys, we just got to Vietnam. We've been in Vietnam for about 5 days now, and I do want to talk to you about something that I experienced recently leaving Thailand. If you're going to be doing this type of journey, whether you're slow traveling or traveling slow long term, make sure you have everything in order. Make sure you do your research. We did our research and things still happen, right? Let's just say I ended up with a $320 bill on my way out of Thailand. If you want to know what I'm talking about and make sure that the same thing doesn't happen to you, then you need to watch this entire video. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. So thanks for sticking around, guys. So one of the things that we talked about before starting this journey was we wanted to make sure we did enough research, and that was relative to visas. Like for example, in Thailand, you have the 60-day visas and you also have the extension. And we did the same thing for Vietnam and also for these other countries we're visiting. And you also talk about doing your research on where you're going to stay as far as Airbnbs and hotels and what type of budget you're going to be on, making sure that you have a decent budget that doesn't make you go over your monthly income. So you want to make sure that whatever income you have, you can afford to live in these countries. So that means you want to make sure you're looking at how much it costs to live as far as the Airbnbs and the hotels and foods and transportation. Anyway, all of those things are very important. But one of the things that you don't hear a lot of people talking about is luggage. Now, we probably in one of my past videos, I did mention that I had to pretty much downsize an entire 2-story house into a couple of bags, right? But I didn't really go into the detail as to how we were deciding on those bags. And honestly, it's not very complicated. But I would say one of the most things that we did not realize we were running into is the cost of those bags. So Phil and I both agree to carry at least 3 bags each. So we have 1 suitcase, which I think is a pretty decent size, large size. We also have a 1 carry-on backpack, and we have 1 garment bag that we also check in. So garment bag and the luggage are 2 check-in bags, and the backpack we carry on. Now the backpack itself, it's a very large bag, I think, and it allows you to put in clothes. So you can actually carry clothes, you can carry shoes in them, in the bags, and also you can even carry your laptop. So we were able to put a lot of things into those bags. But here's the thing. so we paid for the check bags. I don't remember the exact amount leaving from Texas. I think it was probably about between $40 and $60 for an extra bag. We flew with United Airline, and typically your check-in bags are free. Maybe the first 2, I believe. I have to go back and check. I'll include on in the screen if I'm not correct about that. But typically with United, depending on the ticket you select, you have at least 2 check-in bags, right, and 1 carry-on bag. So here's the thing that I mentioned earlier that people don't typically talk about, and that's when you're slow traveling, you're planning on flying to those different countries. Like we're flying to different countries from Southeast Asia. That's part of our goal. So for those of you who are new to the channel, myself and my spouse, we started this journey around August. And what we decided to do is start with Southeast Asia. So just travel to different countries within Southeast Asia. And we started our journey in Thailand. We visit 2 countries in Thailand, Pattaya. We also visit, 2 cities, Pattaya. And we also visit Bangkok. So Bangkok first, then Pattaya. And now we're currently in Vietnam. and we're in Da Nang. So right now we're going to be spending about 32 days. So we typically like to spend at least 15 up to 30 days at least in each city or within each country. So we're still planning it out for the rest of the year, as far as we do also have some times that we're going to spend in Indonesia and Malaysia as well. So back to what I was saying is that it doesn't cost much to go from Thailand to Vietnam, for example. I mean, you can probably get, depending on when you book your flight, you're probably going to spend maybe $130, even sometime less if you book it a lot sooner than we did. We waited until maybe 3 to 4 weeks before we were scheduled to leave Thailand to do our visas for Vietnam, and then once we got approved, we then booked our flights. Still a good reasonable cost. With the flight we booked, it came with the one carry-on bag in the price, as well as the one check bag. However, it was only one check bag. So the other options were business class, and with this particular airline, I believe it was Vietnam Airline, the business class included some additional benefits, but it didn't allow you to, as far as that extra check-in bag, it wasn't included in the package. So the options were either you fly first class, which is a lot more expensive, or you add on additional bag, which at that time when we were looking at these tickets, it was about $100. And then from there, we decided not to book not to add the additional bags. And I know you guys are going to ask, why did they not add the additional bags? Well, we were thinking, and again, we're learning from this experience, because this is our first time doing this. We travel to other countries around the world, but we've never been in a situation where we're hopping in between different countries. And there are times, depending on what country you're going to, sometimes you can get the bag, your additional check bag, a lot cheaper at the airport. That's not the case in the United States from our experience. So we said, hey, why not try it out, because the day before it was time for us to fly out, the cost for that additional bag went up to $120. Anywho, so anyways, we got to the airport. Once we got to the check-in stand, we were told to provide our passport, of course, and we told the lady that we needed to add in a check bag. And guess what? Additional check bag. Whew. I was a little stressed when I heard the price. About $320. I don't remember the exact number in, Thai baht, but it was in USD $320. Yeah. I was sick to my stomach because, as you hear me say this is almost 1.5 times the price that it was online. So that's the lesson right there. Making sure that you pay for the check bag. You got to pay for the extra check bag. You pay for it online. And book the flights early if you can. So yeah, $320. I was so sick because that price ate into our budget. I was so sick, guys, because we have this budget every month, and we had a separate budget for luggage, and it's eating, these additional expenses, right? Because this is an additional expense. This is just one additional expense that I'm talking about today, because I do have another video, another discussion, which is going to be a separate video I want to talk to you guys about when it comes to all of these videos out there that's talking about You can eat in Vietnam and eat in Thailand, you know, and live there at total $1,500, $2,000 a month. Yes, you can. But if you don't know where to go, if you're not doing your research, if you're not eating the local foods, and I'm going to tell you some places you can go to. The markets, street markets, are very inexpensive compared to the restaurants. But I'm going to tell you how and where to go to eat like a local. I'm going to tell you where the locals go, because that's where you're going to be within your budget. I'm going to have a separate video about that, because I am learning a lot. We're learning a lot. And it's important that you know these things, because you can quickly eat into your budget. This $320 expense ate into our budget, you know. So that's the lesson that I want you guys to take here, is that you want to make sure that if you're going to be checking in with additional flying with additional check bags, more than one, right? At least two or more. You're going to be paying a hefty fee for those bags. They are not cheap. I recently have watched some YouTube videos, and people were talking about how their bags cost more than a flight. Yeah. Our flights was about 130, 150 each, something like that. So we actually paid the price of two tickets for our bags, our additional bags. Now, how we plan to handle this moving forward, Phil says that he is going to get rid of his garment bag, because he actually has a lot more room in his suitcase. I, on the other hand, cannot. I tried. When we were at the last hotel on the city side of Da Nang, I took the time to I got rid of several outfits while I was there, because guys, it is hot here. Look, I thought Thailand was hot. It is hot in Da Nang. It does not look like it's that hot, but when you start walking outside, whew, you're gonna start sweating. So I'm hot, and honestly, I wear dresses while I'm here, and I wear things like these jumpsuits. I only have one of these. Very thin material. I also have another pantsuit that it just happened to be black, but it's very thin material, breathable. Look, I need more clothes because I feel hot all the time while I'm here, and I'm known for feeling like I'm hot back home, but being here, you're really hot. Beautiful weather, by the way. And there's some parts of Da Nang where you're going to get some breeze, but when you're walking, even when you're getting that breeze, you're going to get a combination of breeze. You're going to feel the heat as well, and you're going to start sweating. So I decided to get rid of a couple of outfits, because I had two pair of jeans. I said, you know what, I'm just going to let one of these jeans go, because I love the jeans, but they weren't that comfortable, and I just feel hot looking at them. So I got rid of my pair of jeans. I got rid of a couple of outfits where they were cute, and then I wore them, and maybe they seemed a little shorter than I thought, and I was like, well, and I didn't notice it until I'm watching myself on the videos. I'm like, oh, I didn't know my my shorts was a little bit short. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of these, you know. So anywho, got rid of several outfits. And after doing that and rearranging things from the garment bag, which is a pink bag I have, beautiful bags. I have a pink backpack, a pink garment bag, and that garment bag, it's like one of those roll-up bags. You flatten it out, and you can just hang your dresses on a it has hangers, not hangers, but you put it on a hanger, and then it has the clips inside where you can hang the dresses on there. Now, I don't put the clips inside, not clips, but I don't put the hangers inside of the actual garment, because it's going to take up too much space. So I just take a few dresses and I flatten them out, straighten them out, and then I zip it up, and then I put more of my belongings in there, as far as toiletries, you know, my hair stuff, and my swimwear. And this bag has a lot of different pockets. It has pockets everywhere. So I love this bag. I'm able to keep a lot in it. So I was trying to take everything from that bag and put it into a suitcase. And guess what? It didn't work out. Even though I rearranged everything, I got rid of some dresses, shoes too. I got rid of shoes, and I got rid of dresses and jeans, and it didn't work out. So if you're going to be doing something similar, if you're going to be slow traveling, I mean, if you're just planning on coming to Thailand or Vietnam or Indonesia, wherever you're going, and your goal is to find a place to stay long term, like maybe you're just ready to just live there, so you're going to get a 1-year lease, you don't want to be, you know, hopping to different countries like we are, then you probably won't have to worry about this. You can just make sure that, you know, if you're booking through United, it typically comes with a carry-on bag and 2 check bags. If you're needing additional bags, you could pay that $60-$70 for that. And just that one time, once you get here, and you don't have to worry about what we are having to worry about. And if you do that and decide to fly over to these other countries like a getaway, right? Because you could only be in these countries for so long for your tourist visas, then you could just take your backpack. You probably only need 1 bag, and then you don't even have to pay for a additional bag. You have 1 backpack and 1 check-in bag because you still have your lease in Thailand or Vietnam or whatever. So that's something we're going to do at some point. We love the slow travel journey. And we plan on continuing slow travel journey throughout this year and next year. But at some point, our goal is to lay our head somewhere long term. And every 60 to 90 days, we will country hop to these other countries again, just for our experience, but also because we don't want to stay. We want to make sure we don't spend too much time like breaking any rules. You want to make sure that, like for right now in Thailand, it's 60 days with a 30-day extension, and you have to go apply for the extension if you need more time in that particular country. But you don't want to be one of those people that go there and then you're there a year and then they find out and then you get kicked out and then you're making it more difficult for other people. We're not doing that. We're not trying to do that. But anywho, I decided to keep all my bags. Phil most likely is going to just have his check-in bag and his 1 backpack. I am going to have to keep all of my bags because even though I reduced the amount of belongings and clothes I have, I still don't have room for just that 1 suitcase, you know. So it means I'm going to have to eat up the cost just temporarily. I mean, we are going to be here in Da Nang for another 31 days. So we're at a second property. We got to this property yesterday. We're at Boko property. I do plan on doing a recording of this property to show you guys. So this is a IHG property where we use points to book it. And that's through the IHG MasterCard through Chase. So we were able to take advantage of those benefits, you know, using points to book the room. And we're working our way up towards Diamond status member. We are currently Platinum Elite members. And we want to work our way up to Diamond status members because you get more benefits and you have access to club lounges and things of that nature. And club lounge is a whole nother level, guys. We got to experience that briefly at the first hotel we stayed at in Bangkok because we were experiencing a lot of Wi-Fi issues, and that was because we were in a corner room, and the guest was not the guest, but the hotel host was so nice. They did everything they could to help us, and what ended up happening was because they could not resolve the issue, they ended up giving us access to, for the remainder of our stay, we ended up getting lounge access at this Holiday Inn property in Bangkok. Can't remember the full name, but it was a Holiday Inn IHG property. And it was amazing because that allowed Phil to continue his work in a private club room. So it's a private club room for those members that are that have access to the club lounge. So you can go to that particular room different times of the day. It's unlimited access. I don't remember if it was 24 hours or open a certain time, but anyway, they have tea and coffee time, and they will serve like little small snacks and little desserts and things of that nature. And then you also have breakfast buffet, sometimes dinner, and it can vary depending on the hotel. But that experience was so awesome. I was just like, oh my god, I just got a taste of what the having lounge access means. You have so many options when it comes to food, and it really helps help you with budget because you don't have to spend money on breakfast or dinner, again depending on that hotel. But either way it goes, when you start out, like we started out as a platinum elite status member, I still think it's a great status even from the beginning, just because when you come to IHG property, they do recognize you. Like I'll probably show you more of this later on my next video, but these were one of the things that they gave us when we checked in at this property, Voco property. And it's a box of chocolate. This chocolate is so good. I probably shouldn't be eating chocolate, but the chocolate is really, really good. And then they serve us like a tray of, you know, different types of fruit. Let me see if you can see this. Different types of fruit here. Let me see if I can show you the fruit. So this is some of the fruit they served us here. This came with the room and some chocolate here. And again, that's because we are platinum elite status members. So yeah, I'll create a separate video about that so I can show you guys around the property, and also show you how we were able to book this property as well. Again, we did it through points. I know a lot of people don't know about IHG. I didn't know about it until last year, honestly. If I had known about it sooner, I would have already been, you know, building up points, which we started 6-7 months before we left home. We started using that MasterCard for everything, and we were able to get points that way, and then use those points to help fund the first week or two of our hotel stay. So that was pretty awesome. But anywho, what I was getting ready to say. Oh, the last thing I want to tell you guys about as far as what our plans are. So we, and I probably mentioned this earlier, we have about another 31 days here. And we're going to scope out Da Nang. We're near the beach, so I'm going to show you the beach. And let me tell you, this place gives me Miami vibes. I have to show you guys this beach. I'm looking at it right now, but I'm going to create another video, so you have to stay tuned. And for those of you who are not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe. Show your girl some love. And for those of you who have been with me from the beginning, I really appreciate you guys sticking with me. But we're going to be showing you not just the beach. I will be showing you, and I say we, but it's me. And that's because Phil is here as well. I will be showing you all the places we're planning on going to. There's a lot of different events here that we plan on exploring. Phil has a whole list of everything we're going to be doing. So I will be showing you all of those different things and bring you more into my world. And it'll be a lot more involvement, I promise you. I have a new camera, which I'm going to create a video about this because I want you guys to see what I was able to purchase and how I was able to get money back on buying this camera. So you don't want to miss that video either. But anywho, if you guys have any questions, or if is there anything that you're curious about and want to know about, leave a comment in the at the bottom of the video. And if you are interested in any of the bags I talked about, I know I didn't show you the bags. The bags are in one of the earlier videos. But if you are interested in any of those bags, because I was able to get a lot into these 3 bags, and they're real nice bags. There are links at the bottom to each one of these bags, or to 2 of these bags. Sorry, not the suitcase. I got the suitcase from another shop, wasn't online, but there's a link to 2 of the bags, the carry-on one and the garment bag. But anywho, that is all, guys. Again, if you feel this information will be helpful to someone you know, please share that information. Don't forget to subscribe. Have them subscribe. Help your girl get to 1,000 subscribers. Until next time, take care of each other. Love one another. Peace.